So I get a lot of questions on what is meditation. And meditation, in my definition, is consciously altering your brain frequency. What exactly does this mean? Well, when we say consciously alter your brain frequency, if I put a machine on your head called an electroencephalogram, this is a machine that measures brain frequency. And right now, being that our eyes are open and we're walking around and doing things in our daily lives, we're most likely at what's called the beta frequency. That's the frequency of 14 to 21 cycles per second. Now, when we meditate, we go to what's called the alpha frequency, which is between 7 and 14 cycles per second. When we sleep and we're having a dream state called rapid eye movement sleep, we're at a 10.5 cycles per second, which is right smack in the middle of the alpha rate. And that's the frequency that we want to go to when we meditate. Now, by going to this level, we're able to do something that we call dynamic meditation. There's two types of meditation, dynamic and passive. Dynamic meditation is what we do, and that's using your mind to do more creative things. So you go to a relaxed level, and then you use it to be creative, to figure out what you did for the day. You can use it on healing aspects. There's all sorts of things we can do when we go to this level. Passive meditation is going to this alpha level and trying to think about nothing, which is great, but you're really not accomplishing anything other than just being nice and relaxed, which is fine, but there's so much more you can do to reach your full potential. So if you look at people like Albert Einstein, what he did was he basically sat in a chair and he would close his eyes and effectively go into a meditative state where he would visualize a rocket ship going into outer space, and he would see the way light affected it and everything else. And then he would write down what he found. Then he would develop formulas based upon that. And that's how he came out with his theory of relativity when he finally released it. Now, you can learn to do the same thing. And one of the benefits that they found with Einstein's brain, when he passed away, whoever the coroner was that was examining him decided to take his brain out and put it in a jar, which today would probably end up on CNN. But back then, I guess, he was able to do things like that. And he would send samples of his brain out to people doing brain research. And what they found was he had the brain of like a 30 or a 35-year-old. He had a lot of neuroplasticity, which means his brain was very flexible. And it wasn't like calcified, and it wasn't the brain of a person who was 80 years old. And what we're finding with brain research today is if you exercise your brain, one way is to do meditation, another way is to, say, learn an instrument or something like that, which exercises different parts of your brain stays younger. So these are all benefits of meditation. So we do a dynamic meditation, which again is being able to visualize things at what's called a subjective sense, because we close our eyes and it's the subjective world. And our brain does not distinguish between physical reality and what we create in our mind. So if we create lots of positive things, or we use this level to be more creative or designing something, we can come up with things that we didn't even know that we could. We can look at things in very, very fine detail and see if stuff would work. So say if we're designing some product, we could go to our alpha level, and we could go and visualize what we're doing there and coming up and see if it works or not, see if it fits in, and design it. And then when we wake up, we can write it down and be able to do things a lot quicker and a lot more successful. Hope that answers some of your questions. So think positive, focus on what you want. To find out more, go to my website, alcy.com.